Hey guys, we keep hearing that education industry is ripe for disruption and how technology is going to change the way education happens. But still we have not seen any companies making any significant dent into the sector.
Well, to take off on Peter here, let's ask this key question. What valuable companies nobody building in the education industry? In fact, let's ask this question to our team members so that we can get their perspective on this issue.
Education sector in India is a very complex sector where, unlike consumer tech industry, where you have multiple stakeholders, you have many touch points, and the learning agenda in schools today is primarily decided by the publishing industry, who have a very one-off transactional approach.
As a result, we have taken a full stack approach where we basically own the entire learning experience part for the end user. And this has created an unprecedented traction for the work that we do.
As of today, what happens is the child lives in two distinct worlds, that within school and that without, right? And these worlds aren't really talking to each other. But if you look at learning happens wherever and whenever the person interacts with something new. Learning genome is a construct that's actually a dynamic set of codes, and these codes map in a dynamic way, in a live way, what a child knows, what a child doesn't know, what a child likes, what a child doesn't like, what might excite a child and help them discover new things.
To build the learning genome, we need to collect the data about the learning of the student. To capture data for the offline learning, we use regular school assessments, their formative and summative assessments, and to collect data of online learning, we use analytics from mobile devices and tablet used by the students.
Now that we have this understanding of the learning genome of the child, because we're interacting across the whole school ecosystem, what we can start doing is there's this whole ocean of content out there, and we can start giving the appropriate pieces from that ocean to the right kid.
So imagine a child trying to solve a difficult problem and they're flipping through the textbook, and yet what they're reading is really not helping them finish that problem. Here is a disconnect between the content creators and the content consumers, which are the students.
We can also connect good content developers who are good in writing content but not good with technologies. We can provide interface for them. We can run our analysis and come up with structure of a book, and that structure will go to content developer. They will write the book based on that structure.
Now that we have the technology and the data, we can create a content marketplace. A marketplace that not just facilitates one content creator to create several different types of content, but many different types of content providers.
Piecemeal solutions usually don't work in schools because they address different pieces of the puzzle.
So we should provide tools which are easy for the teacher to use in such a way that it integrates into the system in what they are doing.
One way we do it is by integrating ourselves into the body of the school in terms of the formative assessments or the summative assessments that we do.
Data gives those points where there are gaps that are existing in the learning process of a child. And the teacher would be easily able to identify these gaps and address them.
So the world is moving towards more personalization, and the education industry currently is moving more towards consolidation. So they're trying to reduce the number of SKUs. We want to remain as close to the customer as possible so that we can learn quickly from the feedback and create a good learning environment for them.
It is very difficult to create a full stack learning and education sector just because it is being driven through a publishing model since ages. So what we are trying here is we are trying to change that operations functions, and we are trying to decentralize it completely so that on-demand printing can be achieved at the school level or maybe at the parent level.
Plurality of talent is essential to build a world-class organization. Hence, we hire people across sectors, pedigree and experiences.
We need young minds with innovative ideas to create a company for tomorrow. And for this, we are conducting problem-solving hackathons to attract the bright minds from across the country.
The kind of work environment at the firm provides us with a great set of opportunities and a lot of freedom to come up with the best creative solutions.
People make startups into great companies. There are no second thoughts on that. And we have people who are doing like hardcore operations, people who are doing design, technology, content making, and people are learning on the ground to do business development. And that's the kind of multidisciplinary team that we want out there to solve a problem as complex as education.
Well, it was great to hear our team members share their perspectives on what valuable company nobody is building in the education industry. As any entrepreneur knows, it's really difficult to get your product right. It's doubly difficult to build a company around it. But the true mark of a startup is this: when it arrives, either an old industry dies or a new industry is born.
Yeah, and well, to create that startup, you need to gather a great team and kind of chase that audacious vision which you have set for yourself. And what we believe at IMAX, we have that great team and we have that audacious vision. We believe we can create that successful company which no one is building.